Dereta, dereta, dereta. Stoppa, stoppa, stoppa. Muokere, muokere. Hop, 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 hop. Non è muova. Asparagus.
Hi folks, my perspective here. In this clip I'll be dealing with Malcolm Bowden's clip Flat Earth Stupidity Exposed. In this clip he was supposed to be exposing our stupidity, but he exposed his own stupidity, and let's get on with it and deal with this silly little man and his arrogance.
Horizon. Flat earthers consistently claim that no matter how high you go, you cannot detect any curvature of the Earth's horizon. And passengers on the Concorde at 60,000 feet routinely marveled at the curvature of the Earth.
Mr. Bowden, sir, how can a pilot see the curve from the Concorde, no matter what plane he is in, or how high he's flying? How can the pilot see the curve in front of his window? Because that would imply that he's flying towards the ground, that he's going to crash. He's heading for the ground. The plane is supposed to be level with the surface of the ball Earth. So how can the pilot see the curve of the Earth in front of him? At the same time, passengers on the left wing and on the right wing also see a curve out of their window. So you're saying that all of the people, the pilot and the passengers, see the curve of the Earth? It's impossible, Mr. Bowden. You see, that implies the only way that they can all see the curve, the pilot and passengers left and right above the wings, is that the Earth has to be flat. They cannot see a curve, Mr. Bowden. You see, sir, you actually are not that smart.
One said the curvature was detectable when the straight edge of a piece of paper was held up to it. Yet again, flat earthers deceive people with their claims of no curvature, simply because the height you have to reach to detect it by eye is not possible for the ordinary person to check. I have added 2 red lines to show the very small rise in the centre of the horizon.
Really, Mr. Bowden? So we're deceiving people when it's your own stupidity that is deceiving you? How can you see a curve on a flat plane? Either it's flat, because if you see the curve, Mr. Bowden, you have to see the whole ball, Mr. Bowden.
Flat earthers usually claim this curvature is due to the distortion caused by the window thickness.
In this case, Mr. Bowden, maybe the distortion is caused by your own thickness. That makes you feel better.
Eclipses of the moon. Every time that the moon passes into the shadow of the Earth on the moon is always a perfect circle, as would be expected if the Earth is a sphere. This happens at any time of day when any part of the Earth is facing the sun. A sphere is the only shape that, no matter how you turn it, it always casts a circular shadow, proving that the Earth is a sphere. This has been known for millennia.
Are you totally brain dead, Mr. Bowden? For the Earth to cast an exact circle the size of the moon, the Earth will have to be the same size as the moon and very close to the moon, so that each shadow is the same size as the moon. You see, sir, you're as thick as a plank, and you're accusing us of lying because you yourself are pathetically stupid. Mr. Bowden, the Earth is 4 times bigger than the Moon. There's a gap of 400,000 kilometers between the Earth and the Moon. Therefore, the Earth's shadow would be larger than the actual size of the Earth. So explain to me, how is it that the Moon can go into the shadow of the Earth, as we see, become totally dark, and then when it reaches the middle and the darkest part of the shadow, which is also a lot of nonsense, all of a sudden light up and glow red. And then all of a sudden, the light switches off. You see, Mr. Bowden, you shouldn't be walking around calling other people stupid, because you yourself are stupid. You're just regurgitating the same mindless rubbish that we're taught through the education system. And then how long do you think, if there's 29 days, how long do you, in a month, how long do you think the eclipse should last?
The Earth is a sphere. This has been known for millennia. How do flat earthers explain that fact?
So, Mr. Bowden, I don't know why you're just as thick as people who lived 1,000 years ago. Why ask me?
No. No.
How can ships and cities be seen when the curvature of the Earth should have put part of it, or all of them, well below the horizon? The answer: it is due to the refraction, the bending of light as it passes through different densities of air. This means that refraction, due to the increased density of the air, allows objects to be seen that are well below the level of the horizon. Thus, telescopes show cities, ships, etc. below the horizon, not because the Earth is flat, but because the rays of light are bent downwards. This is independent of the further correction that is made for the height of the observer above sea level.
Ba 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 banana, ba 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 banana, oh ba 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 banana, ba 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 banana.
Now, Mr. Bowden, people see lighthouses at night time. You're trying to tell me at night time that a yacht will see a lighthouse, and a man standing on a shore will see the same lighthouse, that the light will bend, and these people will see the lighthouse in 3 dimensions, and it will bend the light around the curve of the Earth? Really? At night time, Mr. Bowden? You see, lighthouses were built for night time, not for the day. And people see buildings and ships above the horizon at night time, Mr. Bowden. So your light bending nonsense is just mindless trash. You want us to believe that the light will bend a flying pig around the curve and place it in a position above the horizon so that you can actually focus it with your telescope? Really? Are you that stupid? You're a brain-dead mannequin that you want to regurgitate absolute mindless trash like this? For goodness sake, man. You're a fool.
Yo plano fu, la pano no tu, ma banana la camo pitaro, banana baba, banana potato, banana tukari no potato li kani malo mani kano tika baba, banana. Ta-da! 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 Ta-da!
So guys, in the next clip I'll be uploading, I'll be dealing with Mr. Bowden's other issues that he raised. Can't wait. Mr. Bowden, you asked why we don't accept Scott or Shackleton or Admiral Byrd's account of the Antarctic. It's because they're all Freemasons. The same as all the astronauts. They've proved that they are dishonest and cannot be trusted. We cannot take what these men say seriously because it's been proven beyond a doubt that they're liars. Why would we take anything these men say seriously? So you pumping the Freemason lies on us and then calling us, you're calling a flat earther a deceiver when you are the actual deceiver. And then, Mr. Bowden, you have the audacity to actually judge my motives for being a flat earther. It has to be because I don't want to accept your geocentrist theories. And I have to be an egotistical maniac or a communist. It cannot simply be that I know the earth is flat because I've done the search and I can see that it's flat. No. You see, from your elevated, arrogant standpoint, it just simply cannot be that. I have to have wicked motives. How dare you? You don't even know me. You arrogant little man. And then you've got the cheek to quote Jesus' words and add humility and beauty as if you possess those qualities. Give me a break, Mr. Bowden. You're an arrogant little weasel. A good-for-nothing little man.